afternoon. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to my first episode of Vets Speak. And I called it Vets Speak because I felt that, one of the best things about going to the VA hospital or being around veterans is listening to them speak. When they talking about stories and, Navy guys telling me stories of being on a ship and World War II vets and stuff like that. I like that stuff. Most veterans, we like talking, telling stories and stuff we did. So, figure we gonna get together, we gonna do a show, Vet Speaks. Now, on top of, doing, stories like that, we gonna also provide assistance, advice with VA claims. Because I know as a veteran, I know you guys out there, if you had any interaction with the VA, you know what I mean. So yeah. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about emails, sending emails in or send in your questions or something like that. We go to them on the air, or if you want to keep it private and personal, I understand that. We could just email back and forth. I give you some steps or things like that I did, or advice who you could maybe turn to in your area. The VFW here in North Carolina, they're good. North Carolina actually is one of the best states as far as veteran care, as for what they do for veterans and some of the resources and things like that. They even have a ratings board, and they have that every year in North Carolina where you can get your claim together, everything, and you could drive from wherever you at. It don't matter. You could be in Atlanta, West Bubble Hell. They don't care. You drive up here, go in there, and you could actually sit down in front of a rater that will look at your claim, and they'll be able to tell you something and do something about your claim right there. So I got that. We got that type of things going on. And so when these type of things come up, I'll make sure that you guys know. On top of that, I also, you get the magazines from the DAV and stuff like that. So I get you see articles in it that might be, maybe everybody don't get these. Everybody don't have these. You know what I'm saying? You see these once in a blue moon. Just like they used to do the Persian Gulf Registry or the Persian Gulf Registry, and they would send you out the little Persian Gulf circular and everything like that. But they don't care about the Persian Gulf. They act like we like soldiers that never existed to them. You never hear no talk of it. And when you do hear talk of Desert Storm, they always making it out like everybody crazy. I seen the last movie they did, Desert Storm, a tale of a mentally cracked soldier and shit. Hollywood is a freaking mess, man. They're a mess. So you got that, the DAV joints and things like that. They looking into medical marijuana. That's medicinal marijuana, because it's better than getting hooked on pills. Pills mess up your stomach, mess up this, mess up that. But you know what I mean? So I support that. And then you have this book right here. The DMVA guide, this right here, in each state, right, they have different programs. So things that they have here in North Carolina, they're not going to be available to you in Arkansas, per se, necessarily. And so, for some reason, the veterans be the last ones to know about these type of services, type of books, information, and things like that. So this right here is a book where it got everything in it. You got licenses, you got fishing license or a realtor's license or any licenses like that in your state could be cheaper to you because you're a veteran. You know what I mean? And so they have a lot of information in here. about the hospitals, about jobs, about the VFW, about different organizations you could, that helps out. It's a very interesting, very good book, very good book. So when you see these, get these, you know what I mean? Because you might not think about it at the time, but later on, it'll be something in here. They got all of the stuff on the back, and it's very helpful. It's very helpful. So I wanted to do this show because I feel like it's plenty of politicians and people that don't know the sacrifice, that don't know what it means to be a veteran, that talking about vet issues, that's out there telling us what we think, what we should do, who we should support in a protest, who that's not what the military was about. That's not what the military about. And for all of the people out there, military is for the military, in my opinion, is when you want to do something right in the world and something good in the world, whether either for yourself or for others, you join the military. You can't be selfish going into the military. You can't, like law enforcement and stuff, you can't be a selfish person like that. You gotta be one of the persons that think about other people more or before you think about yourself. I think that's one of the main things in the military, because your buddy depending on you. You know your buddy depending on you. You get in a hot zone, that's the only guy you really could depend on. Right there you could touch. You can't depend on Washington. You can't depend on nothing like that. And so you gotta have a certain mentality to do that. And I think that we not out here talking enough and expressing the things that is really an issue to us, the things that we really encountering. You know what I mean? Like what it's really like to talk to some of these people when you call into the VA hospital and the VA medical center. We know what it's like. I know what it's like. 22 years I fought with them, so I know what it's like. They told me I didn't even go to the desert. I know what it's like. So again, we're gonna touch on a lot of different issues and things like that. I know that one of the biggest things going on that they just passed is the transgender ban in the military. Now, what people do at home in a bedroom, to me, it don't affect how they are as a person. How are they a good person? Are they an evil person? When they talking to a kid or an adult, are they, do they have a good, is it coming from a good place? You know what I mean? So these are the things that should matter. Not who you lust after, or who you fall in love with, or who you want to get with. That shouldn't matter. Because you can have, and I was making this point, you can have a heterosexual man or woman that's out there running around, sleeping with everybody, this, that, doing questionable, using questionable judgment and all of this type of stuff. And then you can have someone that's transgender, gay, LBGT or whatever, and they got one mate that they going home, they in a committed relationship with, they doing their thing and they pulling together. So I mean, who would make a better leader in that situation? So you can't go by that things like that. I think it's none of your business. Don't ask, don't tell. Long as it ain't no distraction, just like you don't want nobody with a woman with a tight BDUs on, or fatigues, distracting people. Long as it's not a distraction, you living your life, how they say you living your best life as a soldier, man, rock on. Whatever you want to do. So like I said, I think we focus on things that we shouldn't be focusing on. We make a big deal out of things that shouldn't be made a big deal out of. So, so that's the plan with this show. It's going to talk about only veteran stuff. What's going on with the VA, new laws they might have enacted, Congress, things they doing. Another thing they're doing now is they're outsourcing all of the healthcare. So I guess the VA figuring they gonna send us all over the state, whatever state you live in, to go to the doctors and all that. Which is, I've done them both. I've been to the hospital the Durham VA and here in North Carolina. So I've been to that one, and then I've also had to drive to Hope Mills, to Rocky Mountain, to this, to there, to that. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's your personal preference. To me, it's your personal preference. If it's gonna save money where they can give us better treatment and things of that nature, then yeah, anything that's gonna be a better treatment. I don't think, to me, I don't see the big difference. You know what I mean? And so, so that's that. And from, moving forward, maybe this will be a monthly show that it will do and things of that nature. And so hopefully I get some good interaction from you guys out there. Oh, the email. I got 2 email addresses. You got the one for the company, I got my personal. The company email is breakingbread92@gmail.com. There you go. breakingbread92@gmail.com. If you don't get me that way, then my name, Sherwin.Holloway@yahoo.com is my email. Email me some questions, situations, stories, whatever. And okay. Yeah, and please make sure you let us know where you from. I'm repping Bravo Company 201st Support Battalion, Fort Riley, Kansas. Big Red One for life. Yes. And as you see, I'm with them Army boys. But we love the Marines. Shout out to my boy Jig, Sergeant James. Then we got Navies. I know plenty of naval guys, so we got love for everybody. But we all know who the bestest is. We all know who that is. So yeah, the next show I'll have a little bit more of outline of what the show that day is going to be about and things of that nature. Maybe we have some graphics and stuff, things like that, or some other little things. We got an Army Navy store down the street right here. I'm gonna get with them and see if we could come up with some ideas or some things like that. And that's it. A show for us, the veterans. Word up. Salute. And I see y'all soon.